Hey guys, Languagehacker here. Still taking a break from Mercenaries. So today I'm bringing you actually someone else's deck. Feno was running an alignment druid with some of the new cards, including Smite and Survival of the Fittest. So we're gonna go and check out that deck. So let's hop right in. Okay, so this is the list in all of its glory. You'll see a lot of cards that were being run previously in Alignment Druid, obviously Alignments, Anacondra. You need the ramp, Lunar for removal, Solar, Cenarian for survivability. But there have been a lot more minions added. Now, because of the extra minions, i.e. Knoll, Owl, the two new Pirates, Multicaster, which draws cards for each different spell school you've cast this game, and Jerry Carpenter, which draws choose one cards and splits them into two, one for each choose one effect. Because of the abundance of minions now, the deck doesn't run Fungal Fortunes, but you have some extra card draw now with Multicaster and some pseudo card draw with Moonlit Guidance, which discovers a copy of a card in your deck, which is kind of like tutoring, and it's a copy too, which is nice. It doesn't have to be specifically a spell. You can get Malagos, Knoll, you can get an extra Anacondra if you want, an extra Smite. And Jerry Carpenter itself also draws cards, and this specifically draws Nourish, which is useful post-alignment because that's your only hard, draw 3 kind of thing in the deck. So post-alignment, it's nice to have the two Nourishes set up, one that ramps and one that draws cards because the Carpenter splits it up. Anyways, how does the deck win? Like a lot of other Druid decks that aren't aggressive, you try to ramp, you try to alignment safely, and then you have some pop-offs. Some of the cards that have been added now help you stay alive post-alignment. For example, when you play alignment, it sets all the cards costs to 1, which means Umbrella Owl goes to 1, and then the reduction applies based on any spells you've cast. And same thing with Goldshire Knoll, but based on the number of cards in your hand. So you can alignment into Owl and Goldshire Knoll immediately, which is very good because before you would alignment, pass, hope you survive, and then do some stuff. So this way you have a few more defensive tools post-alignment, and you can still just use the Owls and the Knolls beforehand if you are, either your hand is big enough or you played enough spells. Cards you're looking for. The mulligans vary a little bit depending on what you're facing. And I want to disclaim that this deck is absolute garbage against Aggro Druid. So if you're facing only Aggro Druid, do not play this deck. But it seems to be pretty okay against a lot of the other stuff in the meta. Anything that doesn't kill you on turn 4 or 5 basically will give you enough time to alignment and then do crazy pop-off. Now, let's talk about what the pop-off actually is. Actually, no. Let's go to mulligans. JK. No, let's go to pop-off. Okay, so the pop-off is post-alignment. You just play a bunch of cards because you have expensive cards that benefit from costing 1 mana. You have ways to ramp up post-alignment, Overgrowth, Nourish, Anacondra lets you save a lot of mana that way as well. So if you can have a full pop-off, it would look like post-alignment. Anacondra, Nourish, probably in 2 parts from the Jerry Carpenter you played earlier. Ramp a little bit, draw some cards. Maybe you hit a Malagos in hand as well. Get some Blooms out, cheat out some more mana. You have a nice little Solar Clip, Survival of the Fittest, Multicaster, draw a couple of extra cards in there. And then you whip out the Smite and any other Pirates you have in your hand, because these are all Pirates, by the way. And then you have Smite and a number of Pirates with Survival, and you just hit them in the dome, and that usually kills them. And if it doesn't kill them, you probably do enough stuff with the alignments pop-off turn that you win anyways the turn after, and they concede. But you can absolutely set up an OTK. It's kind of hard to explain how the pop-off works exactly. It's just a function of what cards you have, and basically, do you need to stay alive? Try to prioritize, finding Cenarian Ward and playing that, or do you just want to draw cards and do more stuff? Then you focus on more card draw and whatnot. Couple of notes: you probably want to study these before alignment to get more expensive spells if you want them discounted. Moonlit Guidance post alignment is really, really good because if you have, particularly with Anacondra, because if you have Anacondra on the board, Moonlit costs 1. You discover something like a Cenarian Ward, it costs 0 mana because it's alignmented, and because of Anacondra, you play it, and then because you've played it, you also draw the original Cenarian Ward, which then lets you play it. And you can do the same thing with like Moonlit Guidance to Nourish. Moonlit Guidance, draw the Nourish, draw 3, get another Nourish in hand from the Moonlit Guidance, and so on. So there's some cool stuff you can do post-alignment with Moonlit Guidance as well. That's about it. Mulligan-wise, I've been keeping Overgrowth against absolutely everything. If I know it's an aggressive deck, I'll try to keep Lunar. I'll generally try to keep Studies and Guidance against a lot of stuff, just because it's ways to spend my mana early, and based on what their opening is, I can decide what I want from my deck or what I want from the Discover. If I have Overgrowth already, I'll keep Bloom. I don't know if you're always supposed to keep Bloom, but I find against aggressive decks, if you can Bloom out Overgrowth, you can start to work with the extra mana that way. Otherwise, it's a little too slow. You still probably have to keep the Overgrowth, because otherwise you just never get to your game plan. You have some removal tools, and you can do some weird, like, not great tempo tools, like you can do Multicast or Jerry Carpenter just to fight for board, but you tend to fall behind that way. It buys you some time, but ultimately you probably still need the ramp to get away with the game. Don't be afraid to go like Bloom Innervate alignments if you don't think you'll die over 2 turns, just to be able to get it, you know, safely played. Because if you don't have ramp and you have the alignment, it's probably better to just Bloom it out than waiting 3 turns, then playing it, and then waiting an extra turn. And generally, it's not that easy to 3-turn lethal you when you Bloom it out. And the reason why I'm saying 2-turn lethal. The reason why it's 2-turn lethal is because when you Bloom it out, you're overloaded the next turn. So even though everything costs 1, your mana crystals are locked. Yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff you can do with the deck, and probably too much for just like a mini guide. So I have some pretty cool games up next for you guys to check out and kind of understand how the deck works, what the pop-off turns look like. I'm not super descriptive about what I'm doing, but you can kind of tell what each card does as it comes up. And a lot of these pop-off turns really are kind of crazy, just like the old Celestial Alignment Druid, but this one's a little bit different. Anyways, check out the next few games, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. It depends on server pop. Like, I don't want these is the thing. With the other deck, you could keep Anaconda because you just pop off enough, but you don't run Germination and stuff like that, so it's a bit more awkward here. It looks like Quest. I'm gonna hold off on this. I'm playing Guidance on 2, so discounting that doesn't really do anything. This is solid. Works for turn 3. Draw this, play Studies. Bum, 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 ba, dum, dum, dum. Wild Growth for a bit of ramp. Glowfly gets us on board. I take the ramp. I don't think I ramp here though. Do this. Glowfly's not that good because they just soul run it and then we lose to 6/6s. Although maybe it could have been Guidance. Well, oh well. Let's hope we don't get a Netherond. It's fine. Coin. Touch. Yeah, it's fine. I'll hold off on the null because I want to ramp this turn so that I can draw 3 next turn. Null was clean, but then I'm not ramping. It's not super mana efficient. It's a nice coin. They could backfire here, but they can't play Nethron, so it's fine. Overgrowth doesn't help me now. I think I'm just going to draw 3. Save it for post-alignment. There's the alignment. Okay. Are you taking notes, wifey? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Well, that's crispy. It's raining. I'm gonna hold off on the null so they can't react to it. So you're writing noted, but I have a feeling you're not noted. Noting. Ooh, this is scary. We just died a Battlemaster, which is not good. So I'm killing one of these. You draw 2. Owl. Okay, crispy, crispy. This is much stronger if I don't jam these 2. The problem is if I don't play these, I die to Battle Master, and that's really not okay. We can enter Conjure and do some stuff, but no, there's no but. It should be good enough. We play our whole hand and then just hope we draw Malagos or a Nourish. Does Dire Maul need to be buffed? Do you mean Dire Maul, like in Wild, or do you mean Dire Maul, the Druid of the Reef? I don't think it needs to be buffed either way. Yeah. Steve knows what's up. What is that Warlock portrait? It's one of the new ones, I think. It might be from the Fairy Tale bundle, question mark? Yeah, I don't think Dire Maul needs buffs. It's fine. They had enough. Oh no, they just found it. Found it. Ooh, wow. Bold. Now, do I go Solar Survival? Yes. This should probably be enough to get there. Quite chonky, yeah. The deck could hit some card drop problems. A lot of the games we've won have been with Malagos, which isn't necessarily bad, just interesting. Your Anaconda don't butt? That's not how the song goes. Okay, okay, fun little narrative there. I think Anaconda does have some buns. Wait, is this board getting cleared? Not fully, but close. I need to see what they lost, because now the game's actually hard. Backfire, Null Bristle. Blade Quill. Well, you know, game is losable. Both Bristlebacks are gone. One is in the pool, so they could go raise that and find it. But it costs 3. So they can't tap into it. Oh, they can backfire into raise that though. The thing is, they're really far behind on quest completion, so I can get to fatigue if I don't die. Like, I just... Oh no, raise did cost 1 mana, so they can't hit the Bristleback. They can hit Scavenger, though. Scavenger keeps them alive? Null does not keep them alive, because they don't have enough mana. Looks like they died. Oh, they're digging again. Unlucky. We had a lot of good outs there. Nourish draw, Jerry-Rig draw, Multicaster draw, Guidance, Malagos, Studies. A lot of good draws. It was fun, but it's gotten kind of to the point where it's a chore, and it's not fun doing chores. Malagos is great if it's the mirror. I'm assuming it's not the mirror though. Thank you. We can do this into guidance and it's okay. Yeah, it's unfortunately a little too grindy. Looks like it's the mirror. It's not good for us to alignment each other, so I'll take this. I could ramp again, but I've already ramped a bit. It's kind of awkward that I spent 2 mana so I can spend 2 more mana, but what are you gonna do? Looks like it is the mirror. So the mirror probably relies on you winning with solar survival if you're going for an OTK. Nurse is pretty good. Go for another one. I can play this on board next turn, and that's pretty good. I don't know what I want from this yet. More damage post alignment. Tempo on a conjure is actually really, really good. Especially if they just go for an overgrowth here. It's not an overgrowth, but that's probably still fine. Is it fine? They have to deal 4 damage. 4 is not that hard to deal, though. Fine, I'll hold off. I don't know what I'm supposed to take here. It doesn't make sense to have 2 J-Rigs, because I only have 1 nurse left on the deck. This is really confusing. Oh boy. Bring back Doomguard. Oh god, no, not like that, these Suzy. And Mirror, do you just let them align for you? Well, the thing is they might not align, so you still have to try to set up a game plan that wins if they don't align you. Okay, now I'm comfortable playing Anacondra because they already use stuff. Is that true? I could just play more stuff. Yeah, that's not true. I don't need Anacondra. We have good tempo here. Oh, my hand's full. Fine. So if they alignment, this should be lethal, but I need to go. Okay, then it looks like they're not alignmenting. I probably just tempo Snare and Ward then, right? Just went on board, because there's not that many removal tools you can go for, and they can't just alignment me. So yeah, just went on board. That's such a disaster. Oh my god. That's actually a disaster. Natalie was better than this. Did they just lime it? Go, 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 go! Shit. We're not drawing the card. Sock! Bomb! Boom! Bomb! Cha! Like, clip the magic will add as redemption? I don't know. Maybe. Seems solid. Now we deviate, because we can play Overgrowth on 3, which is better. Holy shit, Batman, that's some good stuff. We take alignment here, right? I can go growth into overgrowth, but this is a very early alignment. That's not necessarily good for me, though, because I could get them giants very quickly. What's the mulligan? It depends on the deck. It's very matchup specific. You almost always keep overgrowth. Against aggressive decks, you can try keeping bloom to get some stuff out faster. It's unfortunate, but fine. We'll just null that next turn, then alignment, and then we'll pop off the turn after. Dork Glare. It's a lot of stuff you're doing here. Interesting. Probably not. They pass the 2 mana, which is a little scary. They probably have some heavier stuff in hand, so the alignment's a little risky. That's fine. We'll figure it out. Broom. Okay. Broom into Raise Dead. Sure. There she... Oh! I see. Alright, just don't die, forehead. This is still a little risky, but that's okay. Okay. Flesh Shine is what makes things scary, because we could end up dying. Oh my god, they actually printed mana with the Flame Imp. Into Backfire, into more mana. Oi, 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 oi. We might have to YOLO. We might have to go like Anacondra, Bloom, Guidance, and hope that we hit Malagos. The important thing here is whether or not they're setting up lethal. Because if they set up lethal, then I have to YOLO. But if they don't set up lethal, then it's okay. Like, the problem here is this Flesh Giant. Yeah. Okay, we can go. We hit the Malagos. Actually, we do this, so we can go Solar Eclipse plus the thing. Beautiful. So I think we may have gotten there. So this was a pretty sketchy turn, a pretty sketchy turn 6, but I think it's enough to win. Couldn't quite get lethal there, but it was a pretty solid turn nonetheless. It was decent. It was decent. Probably enough. We did get the achievement. What is the Final Frontier? I'm not sure what that achievement is. Are we playing Battlegrounds? Not quite. That was a pretty solid turn, actually. Oh, hey, look, it's a new card. Oh, they almost killed Anaconda. Okay, pretty solid. Got some life still going. Okay, cleaned up. Ooh, 69% win rate. Okay.